Greetings and welcome to JK9. I can't believe we're on our 29th year. I'm going to put the link up. Morgan, even though you're not checking your email, there's the link if you want to click on that. The link is in the chat. So how is everyone doing? Are you ready for some JK9? A lot happened since last week. Let's get over and take a look at the board. It looks like the pack of crazed dogs won the week. He came and clipped me right at the end. We're going to get into that. The TMW responded with a 133. Oaktown, Vanilla, Misunderstood Rocket, Zuyi Mama, Cigars, all underachieved. And so did Forget About It. Take a big crash and burn. All those teams that you see in week 6 that scored under 100 points gave up a lot of more points to the leader. And speaking of leader, there is the banner. The Vaudevillians are in the lead, 280. Forget About It, 100 out. Dogs, 150 out. The dogs leapfrogged. They were in 7th. They went from 7th to 3rd. That 149 really, really, really helped them. But we're going to get into that. If you look over here, basically the team that won it last year was the pack of grazed dog. Now he came and he clipped me right at the end there. Okay. And the interesting thing about this is the first time in the history of JK9. Look, he only had 7 guys. He had no Pacheco. He had no Hill. During the 10 o'clock games, he had 0. He had nothing. In the afternoon, 1 game. Look at this. Detroit, Dallas. He had everyone, 6 cylinders going, except for his rookie, T. Tracy Jr. Now, in that 1 game, he got a 44 out of Goff. He got a 28 out of Montgomery. He got a 9 after CeeDee Lamb. He got a 19 out of Laporta, which is strange because Laporta had 1 catch for 52 yards, and that was it. 3 field goals, 6 points on his D. 6, 22, 19, 9, 28, and 44. And he got a boatload of points out of that game. It ended up being 47-9. Goff threw for 3 touchdowns, a double, 52, a 37, and a 4. Laporta caught that double. So you got the 52 counts as 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He got 9 touchdowns in 1 game. Both sides of the ball. Have you ever heard of anything so crazy in your life? But he won the week, and congratulations, because T. Tracy Jr. is a little scat back. He's a little beast. It was a great pick. I was laughing at him. I thought this guy was 4th string on the Giants. He worked his way up, and now they're just feeding him the ball. And then, of course, I got 2nd. And I did really well, too. Because, like I said, you can see that the Vaudevillians, the POC, and the TMW are the only ones that really had any type of explosion. Everyone else lost ground on the lead. My lead was only 34 points going into week 6. Now my lead is by 95 points. Pack a Crazed Dog made up 4 points on the leader. That's the only one that made up points on the leader. 4 points is all that was made up on the leader. Everyone lost ground to the leader, except for the TMW. Only lost 10 or 15, but he's 250 out. He's got a big hole to dig out of. And then what about this cigar team? What about this Gibbs team? What about Vanilla? Look at that. He shows up at 69. Look, after week 3, 112, 139, 128. All those points that he was getting right there were freak luck points. You shouldn't even have that many points. And then week 4, 5, and 6, that's the true Vanilla team showed up. Rockets can't even bust 100. ZU Mama is just pathetic. This guitar team is a freaky team, but they're just digging themselves such a deep hole, it's not even real. And last year's defending champion, after week 3, it looked like this guy had a shot at going back to back. But in the last 3 weeks, he's been cooled off, and we are in the thick of the buy grinder. Next week, week 7, we have Chicago. So I'm going to rest my QB. Vanilla's going to rest his kicker. But POCD is going to set 3 of his Cowboys. He's already set 3 of his Lions. He's sitting in good position because he set that Lion. He sat 80 points easily. So even though he's 150 out, he should technically only be like about 70 out. And that's because of that 49 week 5 when he sat his 3-pack. That was actually good. 50 because he should have got about 70 or 80 out of his pack. Should be a 120 week 5. The TMW's got to come over here to get points. But the TMW is back because, look, his team wasn't that great for 5 weeks. His 114 out of the gate was his claim to fame. And then a 106, a 70, 71, 54. Wow. Talk about just a shit start out of the gate. But the good news is for him is he's finally got Devontae Adams over there on Jetland now, which is huge for him. Now that means doubles, that means touchdowns, that means yardage. He's got the shit now when he was getting nothing. He was getting nothing out of Drake May. Drake May goes and throws 4 touchdowns. Nobody wanted it. The TMW had faith that he would get it, and he got it. He's getting those Drake May points now. He's getting those Devontae Adams points. He's got A.J. Brown back at the beginning of the year, week 1, when he got his 114. Well, that was because Jalen Hurts threw a double to A.J. Brown. He looked like a genius, just couldn't fill the rest of his squad out. So going forward, look, the cigars, the Zuyi Mama, the Rockets, Vanilla. Good night. Thank you for the $1,200. What is that? 3, 6, 9, 12. I don't think one of you 4 are winning JK9 29. Oaktown 99, 94, 112. 101 right after a 142 week 2. He lost his quarterback. For how long? how good is Bo Nix? He's winning games, but he's not putting up that good of stats. But he does have double QB if he can get his QB back on the field. Oaktown's still in this thing. 10 Most Wanted is definitely in this thing with 2 quarterbacks and getting healthy now. His only blemish is he's a 50-50 back over there with Bucky Irving. Gibbs and Chips is still in this thing with a shot. The only blow he took this week was Amari Cooper is now the number 1 over in Buffalo. So Coleman, you're not going to get your numbers dialed up as much. Forget about it. I have no idea what's going on with you. What is going on with you? Ever since that 166, I mean, the 122 was okay. But you got to do better. You're getting 90% of your total, all your points put together out of both your quarterbacks. And once that stops, you don't have those other people kicking in. And I got to tell you, it blew me away when I saw that James Cook wasn't going to play. Like, oh, man, he would have busted 100 easy. Did you see what that rookie was doing? Running all over the place. But that's it, folks. Vaudevillians are in first. Week 6 is in the books. We are 1/3. 6-12-18. We're 1/3 through the league. Vaudevillians in the lead. 4G94 out. The Dogs are 149 out in third. Oaktown sitting in the 4-hole, 155-8. Gibbs and Fish sitting in the 5-hole, 151 out. Vanilla, good night, 6th, 170 out. Cigars, huge hole, 185. Great team. TMW, double QB, waking up, 547, 272 out. Rockets put a fork in it, 323. Zoo put a fork in it, 323. And no one's here because no one gives a shit. That's probably why you won't win, because you don't give a shit. It just shows your organization's true colors. You're going to drive all the way down. Everybody's going to come out. Everybody's going to put $300 out. But as soon as you're out of it, you're not going to come to the JK9 webpage. That's fine. But you should. Because you need to represent your organization. Maybe you might be able to pop a couple 170s and get back in this thing. I've seen weirder shit happen in JK9. Someone can do in the second half what you did in the first half and vice versa. So until next Tuesday, when we find out what's going to get put in these little slots right here, week 7, we're going to find out next week what goes in there. And the big question is, does the pack of crazed dogs back up as 149? Do the Vaudevillians back up their 146? Do the 10 Most Wanted back up their 133? And all these other garbage teams, do they light it up? Is someone going to have their day in the sun? We'll find out next week. G-May saying, so long, man. The Vaudevillians are going to win their 5th title and become the greatest JK9 team in the history of JK9. We'll see you next week. Later.